And you are?
Kelly Bass,
Okay.
the mother of Katie Bass.
And tell us a little bit about Katie and how you came to find the clinic.
I saw the flyer on the concussions, and of course immediately thought of my older daughter, Katie Bass, who is a SMU soccer player, or I should say was, because she's now graduated. And anyway, which I'm very thankful for as well. But anyway, I saw the flyer and called her and said, you need to get in here. Because we'd been struggling with concussions and, the whole Division I soccer, just the physical elements that come with that. So she had, I don't even know how many concussions in her career, but at SMU, of course, they added on pretty rapidly. And as a left back, she was constantly receiving the ball from the goalkeeper on the other end, and it's coming at you at unbelievable speeds. And she was instructed, she was supposed to head the ball to get it back into the other, player's end zone. That ball, doing that over and over and over. Plus she took, I think she went pole to head when she was at the goal, trying to defend the goal. She ended up, hitting the pole with her head, and also ended up with a elbow to the head. I don't think she ended up with feet to head, but I think she did a knee to head at one point, another player. So anyway, multiple concussions, and Katie went into SMU as just a beautiful, bright, rising star. She was on the Olympic development team, actually made the national pool in her age group. When she started SMU, she was, excited about playing and, moving forward. She'd fully recovered from her knee, but then, of course, like I said, that's when the concussion started. And she went from just a wonderful, vibrant young lady to a complete personality change. Her grades started to drop. She was losing focus. Her personality changed completely. She was extremely moody and irritable. If you knew Katie, one of the reasons, I hate saying this on video, but one of the reasons that they recruited her is because she was cocky. She was always real strong and determined and even cocky. She wasn't very nice on the field, she was a fierce competitor. And the point at which I knew it was out of control is when the last concussion, they decided to give her a medication. And that medication, because they'd rested her, they'd done all the things that they thought they needed to do, and she never made it back to her baseline. Meaning when an athlete first comes in, they baseline test them. I don't even know what that baseline is or how they do it, but in order to go back to your sport, you have to meet that baseline. And she didn't meet it. She couldn't meet it, and so they gave her this medication, and she called me immediately because she knows how I feel about certain medications, and the number one side effect on this medication in females 25 and under was suicide. And so I immediately got on the phone with the doctor and said, I would prefer that she be on this earth than to play soccer. But he said that he was giving her a very, very, very small dose, and they were just going to try it, and so on and so forth. Within 2 weeks, she was a complete shell of herself. She was not eating. She was depressed. She was actually at one point in my bed with me in a fetal position, sobbing, refusing to get up, refusing to go to school, didn't even want to put her cleats on ever again. And this is a kid that had played since she was 4 and loved it, and obviously had tons and tons of success with the sport. So it just wasn't my kid. I was like, this is not, this isn't acceptable. So anyway, clearly we took her off the medication, but we couldn't get her to the point where she wasn't having headaches, where she was feeling good, where she was, back to her old self. We just couldn't get there, and no matter what we did. And so then I came in and saw that flyer. So she came in and went through the protocol. Within a couple of weeks, we started to see a big difference in her. And then you know, within a couple of months. I feel very good about where she is now, her progress, and that we've gotten back our kid. And that's huge to me.